Hello, teacher. I hope you're okay. I am going to talk about the topic English language communication, the essential. In this chapter, we are going to see English as second language and English as foreign language, and also how the word has changed. And well, here we go. Teaching English as second language ESL and English as foreign language EFL. In this case, we have to keep in mind the difference between those meanings of those terms. The first one is when you live in a country which English is spoken. An example of that, we have Canada. In Canada, there are some people who speaks French, and imagine that someone who speaks French wants to learn English, as in their country English is spoken in that way, would be English as second language, and the form of teaching would be really different with someone who lives in a country where English is not spoken well. And for example, I can tell you that someone who lives in Canada, he or she will learn English faster than someone who lives, for example, here in a country in El Salvador. And also the ways of teaching are really different. But let's see that we have a global vision about a certain science, a paradigm shift. What does it mean? It means that we have to change what we had in our brain or in our mind, that we have to teach just in one way. For example, when I was in high school, the teacher used to say, okay, take this paragraph and translate it, please, and you have to learn the words. So we have to update those things. We have to update that thing. And how can we do that? For example, teaching by having a good communication with the student, have a good confidence with them. That is something important. And let me tell you that there are many English evaluations around the world. One of the when I'm going to tell you two, the for they I think that they are the most famous, at least here in El Salvador, and I think in the most part of the world. And one of them is the TOEIC, that is the test of English for international communication, evaluation of second language. In that way, someone who lives in Canada could take this exam in order to know what is his or her English level. And if he approved with a grade or a good point, he or she has a good English skills. But now I'm going to tell you about a talk that is another part of the English or the other exam, that test of English as foreign language, that it is that we should take in order to know our English skill. And if we approve that with a good grade and really good, we have a good English skill. And the last one, well, um, everything has changed around the world. Student and teacher should have active interaction. What does it mean? It means that teacher should have a good communication with the student. If they had problem with learning something, with vocabulary, because in the past, as I told you before, teacher just used to say, read this and translate it using your cell phone. Now, Teacher should have a good communication. Well, what is your problem? How may I help you in order to learn? And that is all for me, teacher. And thank you. In my classmate will continue.
Okay, I'm going to continue with the essentials, which are 8. The first one is learner autonomy. Learner autonomy is the student's ability to organize their own learning process. On the other hand, also teachers take a huge responsibility in this part because they need to create a good environment to support learners' autonomy by creating self-assessment tool, giving genius authority, and measuring goals accomplishment. As a result, students have the full responsibility when learning, since the teachers give them more decision-making power. To do this, there are many areas in which teachers can work to give the students the chance to learn by themselves. For example, build upon the students' prior knowledge and choose engaging context and topics for them to share their own ideas, create flexible tasks in which they feel comfortable when working, go cooperative to give them the chance to participate. Also, encourage the students to take risks when learning. And well, get the students to reflect on their learning. So in few words, allow the students to choose their own learning process. The second one is the social nature of learning. It refers to the interaction and cooperation with others when learning a new language, because in that way learners improve their listening, speaking, writing, and reading skill by sharing ideas, creating stories, correcting each other. And I say correcting each other because it's something that has helped me a lot, because when someone else corrects me, I don't forget about it. And what could be how to pronounce a word. I remember 2 years ago, someone told me, you don't have to say development, you have to say development. And that's why nowadays I can say the word in the correct way. And not only that word, but also many other words. So to learn by interacting with others is a suitable essential we have to put in practice. The third one is the integrated curriculum. An integrated curriculum is described as one that connects different areas of study. Integration focuses on making connections for students, allowing them to engage in different activities that can be connected to real life when learning English as a second or foreign language. And the book says that it is not seen as a stand-alone subject, but is linked to other subjects in the curriculum. Also, the book mentions the trends within second language education. The first one is the text-based learning, which reflects the essential as it's to develop fluency that can be used across the curriculum. And as an additional example can be seen in a project in language teaching, a language which involves students in exploring issues outside of the language classroom. Well, there are many benefits of teaching with the integrated curriculum model. For example, it focuses on content higher level thinking, and also provides a deeper understanding of content. Um, Likewise, encourages active participation. Um, Also provides connections among various curriculum disciplines. My classmates is going to continue with the other essentials.
Hello, my name is Merlin and I will continue with the other three essentials. Focus on meaning, as it was said in chapter 5, underpinning the view of learning for understanding is the central role students play for constructing their own knowledge. We as future teachers have to know that learning is not a passive process in which students just absorb the content given, but instead it is an active process in which students have to participate and get involved with the content by providing ideas. They are going to comprehend and understand better. And it is also important to know that education is not just preparation for life, but also it is participation in life. This means that the more students participate and contribute with ideas and get involved in the class, they are going to comprehend, internalize, and understand better what they are learning. And they are not just to memorize information for passing evaluations. Then we have the other essential, which is diversity. And in chapter 6, diversity was viewed from some perspectives, such as teachers' awareness, learning styles, communication styles, and diverse intelligence. And it is important that we as teachers create or put into practice suitable methods of techniques in which all the diverse students we have in the classroom feel comfortable with the environment so that they can feel good and catch better the content because they feel comfortable, because there are many students that don't learn in the same way as others. For example, some learn by looking at pictures, others learn by listening, and others learn by doing. And then we have the next essential, which is thinking skills. And as it is said in chapter 7, learners along with teachers need to analyze proposed situations or existing situations and need to synthesize new ideas. In that way, students put into practice their critical thinking and they learn better and understand better what they are learning. That was all for me. My classmate is going to continue.
So hello, I'm going to continue with the essentials. And the next one is alternative assessment. This essential consists of that new forms of assessment that are needed to complement the more traditional modes of assessment. And what this means is that alternative assessment doesn't look for getting rid of traditional assessments. Instead of replacing alternative assessment, is a complement for those traditional formats such as fill in the blanks, multiple choice, and so on. Although alternative assessment can be very difficult to grade because it is not based on mechanically scored, alternative assessment is very useful for our students because it is an ongoing formative measure rather than a one attempt summative process such as quizzes, exams, and so on, which make our students feel uncomfortable and anxious. And most of the time, they failed these exams. So then we have the main goal of alternative assessment, which is not only assessing but also is teaching, something that traditional assessment um, cannot capture or at all, because what we want or what we need is to obtain all the vital information from our student. So traditional assessments is only for measuring our students. So we can conclude that alternative assessments provides other ways in which the learner can acquire knowledge, focusing on the process rather than the final grade. So as you can see, alternative assessment is for providing other options to our students instead of only trying to learn things by heart. And we are going to move to the last one, which is teacher as co-learners. And this essential, it is based on the idea that teachers do not teach and students do not learn. Teachers are viewed as facilitators who constantly try out alternatives, for example, learning through doing. As a result, the classroom is not only a place where teachers follow blindly the lesson plan or the teacher's guide. So in language teaching, this is essential has to lead to interesting, unreflective practice action, research, and other forms of classroom investigation. So this means that teachers as a co-learners take more responsibilities for the development of curriculum so that their students can have a language learning adapted to their learners' specific needs. Also, when teachers see the effectiveness and experience the joy of learning in this way, the teachers desire deeply to facilitate similar success and similar experiences for their students. So, the last is that we have some classroom implications, such as teacher and students learning together, in which the teacher, instead of being a figure of authority, it is now a fellow or a classmate for students. And then we have teacher mentoring, in which both teacher and student reflect on their learning and teaching.